United Nations Small Arms Trade Treaty deal, 1 week away. And of course, I just did a video on the Colorado, the very tragic Colorado shooting. Could this be the precursor? Again, I'm getting sick and tired of being right all the time, but not to toot my own horn, but holy crap, like everything I say that's going to happen typically happens. Or is it just that it's so obvious? I think a lot of it is just so obvious. So here's what I predict happening a week from this video. The UN Small Arms Trade Treaty bill will probably get signed. Whether it'll pass Senate in the United States, I don't know. But that will attack the Second Amendment, make no mistake. I'm a Canadian, I'm not an American, and I'm praying, Minister John Baird does not sign that for Canada, because then, we're under a global gun registry, global gun ban this, gun ban that. The UN says, oh, well, it's not really, the target shooters and hunters, they won't have to worry about it. It's just for the madmen and the revolutionaries and the terrorists and the rogue governments and just those people. Or have we heard this story before? I don't know, maybe Hitler did that? Yeah, I want to pass a few things, but just give me your guns first, don't worry about it. It's for your own good, it's for your own safety. Did Stalin do that? Oh, yeah, he did that too. All these freaking tyrannical governments always start off with a gun ban. Think about it that way. I'm not trying to spread fear, but, the history's there. Everywhere, every country that typically gets a gun ban, with the exception of a very few, typically gets worse. Worse and worse and worse and worse. So if that were to happen, which it most likely will get signed, but will it ever be ratified? I don't know. But if it did, I have a feeling that would be the first firing, not the first warning shot, but the first shots fired politically in the upcoming civil war in the United States. That's the straw that's going to break the camel's back. People need to defend themselves, and I can guarantee you the Batman shooting in Colorado there, that polarizes people. People are no longer centered around the world, where it's kind of like, okay, well, I can see a little bit of this guy's point, a little bit of this guy's point. No, it's either hard left, hard right. That's what it is now. Why? People are just sick and tired of being sick and tired. And stuff like this polarizes people. The people that were kind of, I don't know if I believe in the right to carry and stuff like that, are either going to be hardcore, pass the guns out, Archie Bunker style, or ban them all. That's the polarization, and this will create a very, very bad and unstable country, which is already having its fair share of God knows how many problems, too many to list in a short amount of time. So the UN Small Arms Trade Treaty ban, make sure Canada doesn't sign it. Start calling your MPs and MLAs. I'll put the links down below. Tell them you don't want to sign. I've already called. I said, hey, look, don't, because it, that gives up sovereignty of your country. It means the UN has more control over your country. And the UN should not have any control over any country, really. There are a bunch of do-gooders that tend to do more bad stuff than good stuff. When you really look into what they do and what they accomplish good versus how many people get killed not listening to them, the UN is a bad thing. I wouldn't sign a single thing from the UN. And Canada is we're smart enough to run our own country. We don't need another, nameless bureaucrat, that's unaccountable to run our country. So the United Nations Small Arms Trade Treaty Act is about a week away. I'm almost positive Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton will sign it. I haven't heard too much down the wire here in Canada, but that's the problem here in Canada, is usually you don't hear about it. It just doesn't, you just don't know what's going on there. And so if you want to be preventive, time is short, like we got 1 week, call your MPs, your MLAs, tell them you do not want, you'll have to call the Conservatives at this point, any other party, because they're the majority party, so party with the majority. So links will be down below. Call your MPs, your MLAs, tell them do not sign that Small Arms Trade Treaty Act. It's when you look at Bill C-68, that was passed in 1995. This is how these agendas get passed. These things are in the works for years and years on end. But in that Bill C-68, which is our Firearms Act, it said that Canadians had to comply to foreign troops whenever they asked us to, hand over the guns. Is it foreign or domestic? Foreign or domestic. So it didn't. So what they're saying is basically foreign troops. What do foreign troops have to do with my guns? Well, when you look at the Small Arms Trade Treaty Act, coming in years and years later, that's how when these bills get passed, people look at them and say, okay, well, there's nothing to worry about, nothing to worry about. But it's when a bill like this gets passed, it links all those other bills together. And then all of a sudden, you have no more country. Why? You signed it away. You didn't even sell it, you signed it away. And why does it get signed away? Because good people do nothing. They don't call their MPs, they don't call their MLAs. I call them every now and then, and you don't need to like scream at them. I'm just telling them, hey, look, please don't do that. Because once they pass something like that, it's almost impossible. Hey, look at how long it took us to get rid of the gun registry here. And technically, at the making of this video, the records haven't been all permanently deleted yet. We also need to get rid of the handgun registry here in Canada. But anyway, rate, subscribe, post to your Facebook, get the work out, make your own videos, get the word out, make your own videos, call your MPs, call your MLAs. I can't stress that enough. And for you people down in the States, God help you if he signs it. And I have a feeling he's going to sign it. That's also why I made my video, the assassination of Barack Hussein Obama. That could lead to it. What, you don't believe me? Hey, people are killing people over Batman movies in large numbers. So imagine an issue that people actually care about. You see in the big picture, the dots? I'm not making any threats. It's just, again, I said it once, I'll say it again. A madman is going to go out in public in a gun-free zone where people don't believe in the right to carry for self-defense, and he's going to open fire. And how many people he's going to kill that day? Who knows? And people needed to defend themselves. So to agree with the UN Small Arms Trade Treaty deal, again, it's never been about the guns for crime or anything like that. There's other issues that need to be tackled. Guns are just a tool. What really is the issue is control about the UN Small Arms Trade Treaty. It's about control. So when you want to seize something from a country, such as their resources, and Canada being, more than 28 natural resources, think about it this way. The UN wants, just their military around the world, spread all our resources around the world. Sounds nifty and endearing, but basically lower everybody's level of living. Agenda 21 also plays into this, and depopulation and all that. And the only one law or one right on this planet that makes all your other constitutional rights hold together is the right to bear arms. Now, here in Canada, we don't have that specific right. That's why we need it, so that government can never get out of control like they are. We're not as bad in Canada as what they are in the States, but make no mistakes, it's coming. If push comes to shove, there's the 3%ers out there. The military will not, and there's the oath keepers out there, which are law enforcement military. So you could see a coup over this. I mean, in the States, not so much in Canada. But make no mistake, people are very, very threatened. They're very, very threatened, and they're scared, and they're nervous, and trust me, they're on the edge. They probably say, that's why we need to take the guns from these crazy firearms owners. You've missed the point. They're going after everybody's guns, okay? Meaning, once the guns are no longer around for the civilian population, you have no rights. Or any rights you have, you'll have to pay for it through taxes and stuff like that. So, think about it, really think about it, what makes Canada invasion-proof? Citizenry gun ownership. It really does. Our military isn't big enough. Any country could just run us over, so to speak. The right to bear arms, we need it here in Canada just as much as they have in the States. And people in the States, heed my words, don't ever lose that right. Because if you lose that right, you lose everything. And if you lose that right, every country loses that right. So you guys got to set the example. Hopefully it doesn't go to a civil war, but it probably will. But anyway, rate, subscribe. Alrighty. United Nations Small Arms Trade Treaty deal, 1 week away. And of course I just did a video on the Colorado, the very tragic Colorado shooting. Could this be the precursor? Again, I'm getting sick and tired of being right all the time, but, not to toot my own horn, but holy crap, like everything I say that's going to happen typically happens. Or is it just that it's so obvious? I think a lot of it's just so obvious. So here's what I predict happening a week from this video. The UN Small Arms Trade Treaty bill will probably get signed. Whether it'll pass Senate in the United States, I don't know. But that will attack the Second Amendment, make no mistake. I'm a Canadian, I'm not an American, and I'm praying, Minister John Baird does not sign that for Canada, because then, we're under a global gun registry, global gun ban this, gun ban that. The UN says, oh, well, it's not really, the target shooters and hunters, they won't have to worry about it. It's just for the madmen and the revolutionaries and the terrorists and the rogue governments and just those people. Or have we heard this story before? I don't know, maybe Hitler did that? Yeah, I want to pass a few things, but just give me your guns first. Don't worry about it. It's for your own good. It's for your own safety.